We see Balam, a powerful and high-ranking prisoner, locked away in a special, high-security wing that's guarded by a team of elite officers. We learn that Jack Stone, the main character, is a former Special Forces soldier who later became a narcotics officer.
Jack Stone. First a cop, then a cop killer.
During his service, he led a major drug bust that resulted in the seizure of a huge shipment of contraband. This operation cost Balaam, the biggest drug lord in the area, millions in losses. In retaliation, Balaam sends his hitmen to Jack's house. Jack survives the attack, but his wife is tragically killed. Devastated and furious, Jack vows to take revenge. He spends years trying to track down Balaam, but the drug lord remains elusive and well protected. Eventually, Jack learns that incriminating evidence against Balaam, as well as proof of corruption involving government officials and police, is hidden in a bank vault. With no legal options left, Jack decides to take drastic measures. He and a few trusted allies stage a bank robbery. They dress up as robbers and storm the bank. After a heated gunfight with security, they crack open the vault and recover the evidence. As they attempt to flee, more police arrive. A standoff ensues. One of Jack's partners is killed in the crossfire, but Jack escapes. He takes refuge in a nearby building, only to be cornered by a police officer. The officer recognizes Jack's voice. Jack confirms his identity, then grabs the officer, who turns out to be one of the men responsible for his wife's death.
I trusted you. Jack?
And jumps off the building with him. The officer dies on impact, and Jack is arrested on the spot for robbery and the murder of a police officer. Jack arrives at the prison with several other new inmates. They're told they'll be staying in the same block as Balaam. As they're processed, Officer Green singles out Jack. Without warning, he hits Jack in the stomach with a baton, angry that a fellow officer was killed. Before leaving, Green warns Jack that he won't last long here. Unbeknownst to Jack, Balaam is currently imprisoned in the same facility. Though behind bars, Balaam still controls his empire from inside. He uses the prison as a safe haven, believing it's the one place his enemies can't reach him. With the help of corrupt guards, he runs operations like drug smuggling, weapons transport, and human trafficking, all from his luxury cell. Inside, Balaam lives like a king. He has bodyguards, access to outside communication, and a setup that rivals any luxury suite. He's untouchable, or so he thinks. Jack is assigned to a cell with a man named Silva.
They call me Silva.
Later that day, during lunch, Balaam's cousin Seon comes to demand protection money, the same scheme the prison bully uses to control the inmates. But when Seon confronts Jack, he gets more than he bargained for. Jack takes him and his men down in seconds, stunning everyone in the cafeteria. That night, Jack is taken to a hidden part of the prison. A camera switches on, and Balaam appears on screen. He warns Jack to stay out of his business, threatening that Jack will end up like his late wife.
You and I, we are at war.
Balaam even declares that he and Jack are now at war. Jack listens without reacting, unbothered by the threats. What Balaam doesn't know is that Jack already set a plan in motion before getting arrested. He left the stolen evidence with Tricia Sinclair, an honest journalist. In a letter, Jack asked her to use the evidence to expose Balaam and the officials helping him. Tricia begins investigating immediately. She continues digging through the files and uncovers Jack Stone's full identity and pieces together his mission. Meanwhile, that night, 3 of Balaam's men try to assassinate Jack in his cell, but Jack wakes up just in time and takes them all out quietly and immediately. Luckily, Silva had been sleeping with his headphones on, so he did not know what actually happened in the cell. The next day, Tricia is pretty confident about her findings and decides to visit the district attorney's office. The receptionist tells her the DA is unavailable.
Oh, may I help you?
Yes, I'm Tricia Sinclair. I have an appointment with District Attorney Johnson.
I don't have any appointments with that name.
Just then, a man named Mark walks in and tells her that she can hand over the documents to him instead of the DA. When Tricia gets suspicious, he tries to convince her even more. Tricia, however, doesn't trust anyone with that evidence, so she walks away. Later that evening, Tricia waits outside the office and spots District Attorney Johnson coming down the stairs with the mayor. She steps in and interrupts their conversation. Johnson sends the mayor away and asks Tricia what's so urgent. Tricia then presents him with all the evidence that she had gathered. Johnson is impressed by her determination and the strength of the evidence. He wants Tricia to come forward if she has all the evidence.
If you have information, I think you should come forward with it.
He then gives her his card and tells her to contact him if she needs help. In prison, Trisha visits Jack. Jack talks to her and tells her how he had been waiting for her visit. Trisha learns that it was Jack who sent her all the information and evidence. Trisha then asks him what he wants from her. Jack replies that he wants her to use the information for good.
What do you want?
Using information for Sinclair.
Soon after, an older inmate named William approaches Jack. He warns him that Balaam's men are ruthless and shouldn't be taken lightly. Jack brushes it off and asks where Balaam's cell is. William tells him only a few trusted guards know the exact location. Meanwhile, in a nearby women's prison, a violent fight breaks out between two inmates in the cafeteria. One of them, Alina, is later taken, blindfolded, to Balaam, who operates from a secret, heavily guarded suite within the men's facility. Alina is brought before him because she attacked one of his favorite female inmates. Alina isn't the only one. Seon with his minions are also there, all of them having somehow gotten on Balaam's bad side. After hitting the male prisoners, Balaam turns to Alina, telling her how she ruined her beautiful face by fighting. He mentions how she disrespected him by fighting Katerina, a prisoner who was under his protection. Instead of punishing her, Balaam makes an offer. He wants both Alina and Seon to pass his message to the other inmates, kill Jack Stone, and he'll pay $100,000.
I need you both to spread the word. $100,000 to the man that brings me Jack Stone's head.
Alina and Seon have no option but to agree. Back in the men's prison, William tells Jack about the bounty that Balaam placed on him and asks him about his next move. Jack tells him not to worry about it. That's when a bunch of prisoners close in on Jack. William sees a camera and changes its position. As the attack begins, Jack breaks a mop and subdues all the prisoners who wanted to kill him. That's when he also learns that William is on his side. Balaam receives a call from D.A. Johnson. The official informs him that Trisha now holds powerful evidence against him, including detailed records that no legal authority can ignore. Enraged, Balaam tells Johnson to handle Trisha immediately.
All right, I'll take care of her.
Johnson asks him about Jack, and Balaam assures him that he'll die soon.
What about Stone?
He will be dead by the end of the day.
Meanwhile, Trisha feels uncomfortable and scared while walking up to her car. That's when she receives a call from her friend Allison, with whom she wanted to meet up. While Jack is doing laundry, a group of corrupt prison guards corner him. They begin beating him savagely with batons. Jack hesitates at first, not wanting to fight the police. But when he realizes they're only after the reward money, he retaliates and defeats them all. As Jack leaves the area, another group of inmates confronts him. Jack explains that even if they kill him, the $100,000 won't go far when divided among so many. He also scares them with what exactly would happen to them if they tried to fight him. His logic makes sense to them. The inmates back off and leave Jack alone. On the other hand, as Trisha reaches home, she feels as if someone is following her. Fortunately, the man just passes by his door and is not actually following her. Inside, Allison, who was hiding in Trisha's home, takes her by surprise. Trisha then tells Allison everything about Balaam, the evidence, and the network of corruption. Trisha wants to soak up all the information first and then make a call. Back in the women's prison, Alina pretends to make up with Katerina by apologizing to her. However, instead of apologizing properly, she punches Katerina again. She urges Katerina to hit her on the face, and she does exactly what Alina wants. Alina then pretends to faint and is taken to the infirmary. As she's being checked, she takes out a paperclip from a nearby file. When the doctor steps out, Alina picks her handcuffs with the paperclip. She sneaks some supplies, including alcohol and medicine, into William's cleaning cart. She also steals a key to the ventilation shaft from the cart. She crawls through the vents, maps the interior routes, then returns to the infirmary before anyone notices she's missing. In the meantime, Trisha visits Jack again. She tells him that she read about his wife and is genuinely sorry for his loss. Jack wants Trisha to use every piece of information he sent her and hold everyone accountable for the murder of his wife. Later, Jack asks William about his identity and learns that he's from the FBI and has been undercover in the prison.
Which one is it? FBI? CIA?
He is there to unveil the corruption going on inside the prison. William also mentions that every piece of evidence he gets in the prison just mysteriously disappears. At that point, another assassination attempt takes place on Jack, but the guards intervene and stop everyone from fighting. As a result, Jack is placed in solitary confinement, left feeling isolated and confused. Meanwhile, William is called by Warden Blaine, who has a long-standing conflict with Balaam's associates. Sensing William's true intentions, Blaine takes advantage of the situation and threatens to expose him unless he pays more money. At the same time, Tricia continues her efforts to meet District Attorney Johnson, but his packed schedule keeps her at bay. Mark tells her to contact the FBI if she's got a problem. This annoys Tricia, and she leaves after threatening Mark that he's also going down with the rest of the corrupt people. Back in the prison, Balaam's daughter arrives for a visit, which leads to his temporary release from his cell and transfer to a meeting room. William spots Balaam leaving and discreetly signals Alina to initiate their plan. Receiving the signal, Alina fakes a fainting episode, drawing a guard's attention and forcing him to carry her to the infirmary. On the way, she and William overpower the guard and seize control of the CCTV room, effectively taking over the prison's surveillance systems. Balaam's daughter gets mad at him because all this time she thought he was dead. In Balaam's defense, he did that in order to protect his daughter. She further mentions that she was told that her dad was some national hero, and she blindly accepted that. She was just disappointed to find him in a prison. She leaves after telling him that this is the last time he'll ever see his daughter.
I don't know what you are, but I don't ever want to find out.
Shortly after, William sees through the cameras that Balaam is about to leave the visiting room. He acts quickly, unlocks Jack's solitary cell, and sets him free. Determined to confront Balaam, Jack knocks out a guard and disguises himself in the officer's uniform. With guidance from William and Alina, he slips out of the CCTV room and quietly moves through the corridors, making his way toward Balaam's private cell before he returns. The plan is risky, but they are determined to bring down Balaam's criminal network and expose the corrupt officials involved. Soon after, Blaine and several guards discover the unauthorized access to the surveillance room and try to force their way in. Meanwhile, Alina finds a clever escape route through the ventilation ducts. Realizing their time is short, William makes a bold move. He unlocks all the prison cell doors to create chaos. The sudden uprising allows the inmates, furious over past mistreatment, to turn on the guards. Officer Green attempts to flee but is intercepted by Jack, who shoves him into a crowd of enraged prisoners. Meanwhile, William and Alina engage in a brutal fight with attacking inmates. Amid the chaos, Jack reaches Balaam's cell, where he comes face-to-face with Seon. A violent fight breaks out, and Jack is stabbed during the scuffle. Despite the injury, Jack pushes through the pain and defeats Seon before heading to Balaam's secret chamber. Outside the prison, a shocking betrayal unfolds. Allison, who had previously promised to help Tricia, is revealed to be working for the corrupt lawyer Johnson. Following Johnson's orders, Allison strikes Tricia and points a gun at her. But before she can act, an undercover FBI agent, posing as the prosecutor's assistant Mark, intervenes and rescues Tricia. Mark's true mission is to expose Johnson and other government officials complicit in the conspiracy. Back inside, William successfully subdues Warden Blaine and his guards. Jack finally enters Balaam's cell, and a brutal one-on-one fight ensues. Balaam initially gains the upper hand and knocks Jack down, but fueled by the memory of his wife's murder, Jack finds the strength to rise again. Determined to end it once and for all, he overpowers Balaam in a final act of vengeance. As the situation reaches its peak, a SWAT team storms in and regains control of the prison. In the aftermath, William introduces Jack and Alina to one another, expressing gratitude for their role in taking down Balaam's empire from the inside. Jack, in turn, thanks them for their help in finally achieving justice for his wife. Following the successful operation, the FBI arrests all the corrupt government officials and police officers who were in league with Balaam. In the closing scene, Jack is taken into custody by William, who promises a swift release. The film concludes with a sense of closure. Justice has prevailed, and the criminal forces that once poisoned the prison and society have been wiped out.